Welcome back to Combat Sports Weekly. This is a part of the show where we take a look at national and local headlines. The top of the national one is pretty good, so let's take a look at the national one.
World Series of Fighting 19 potentially has Fight of the Year. What do you think?
Yeah, Justin Gaethje and, of course, Luis Palomino taking place. WSOF 19, an incredible bout. A true battle of attrition. I know that's overused, but these guys just dominated one another. And, of course, the hometown guy came out with the victory. So we'll make sure to take a look at the highlights. You have another big one that took place over the weekend.
Ronda Rousey makes her appearance in WWE with her fellow co-star, The Rock.
Yeah, and, of course, she worked Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Over 76,000 people at Levi Stadium, and there were huge chants of Ronda Rousey. So
she's just a
very
star
incredible
right now. You know, I don't think she can do anything wrong.
She cannot. In the battle Saturday night, Gary Russell Jr. defeated Johnny Gonzalez in a bout that a lot of people didn't feel Gary Russell should have had, but either way, he was a favorite. He claimed that featherweight title, so hopefully a battle between Nicholas Walters or, you know, maybe a rematch against Lomachenko is ultimately on the horizon. More action from that night in the co-main event. You had Jermell Charlo take on Vanes Martirosyan in a fight that was difficult to not necessarily watch, but the score. Yeah. We'll take a look at highlights from that night as well. So very interesting fight that took place. Very interesting scoring as well as, you know, we'll talk about here in a little bit. And Special K, Kell Brook. Dominating the English fight scene and even the American fight scene. Potentially a fight with Amir Khan. He defeated Jojo Dan by TKO in a fight that I think drew over 12,000 people there in England. So
a lot of boxing.
A lot of boxing that's happening on across the pond. You have UFC news here with Ricardo Lamas and Chad Mendes. What do you think of this fight?
Super exciting fight. I think the matchup's great. I'm excited to see it.
I think it's a pretty good fight, and also let's not forget the co-main event that's happening that night with Ali Quinta and Jorge Masvidal. That is going to be a spectacular fight. So let's go ahead and jump into the local headlines. We're done with the national ones. Local news, Rio Rancho this Saturday night. We have some updates for the Sparta Combat League bout, which, of course, your teammate Conrad Padilla is headlining against Clayton Wimmer. There are a few other updates to the card. Co-main event, William Albrecht versus Joe Miles, Colorado. Albuquerque's John Sparks and Santa Fe's Natalie Roy will also be on the card. So, again, some of the proceeds are going to the Wounded Warriors Fund. So make sure you guys go check it out if you have some free time on Saturday night. Nothing better than supporting the troops, of course. And in more local news, one last topic here. The May 9th Camel Rock Casino bout is apparently going down. Why they would want to compete with a card that you're on? Why? Why would they want to do that, especially with the Holmes brothers? But nonetheless, you have some pretty big names on this card as well. Tony Valdez, very popular in Española, and the three Sanchez brothers who have kind of been active over the past year and a half. So, I mean...
you know who I think is a big name is Angelo Leo.
Angelo Leo, of course.
He is our... I mean, this guy... he's it. Like he's
Danny
our
Romero,
Danny Romero.
Reincarnated, if you will. I can't even say it.
I'm so excited to see him fight. I wish that he was fighting on the other card so I could watch him fight. But I'm excited for the kid. I'm rooting for him.
That guy's a highlight reel. Let's go ahead and take a look at the highlights we have for this fight. Here we go. Kell Brook, Special K dominating Jojo Dan. Just the accuracy of his punches. This guy is just too good. Look at that physique.
Yeah, Jorge.
He's just very dominant. I mean, there was more than one knockdown that happened in this bout, but hopefully a fight with him and Amir Khan can be made because I think that's a potential big money fight for both guys in where they can't get any big guys. And here we go again. Gaethje versus Palomino in Fight of the Year in World Series of Fighting this past weekend. These highlights show the dominance that Gaethje had, but Palomino had that kick reminded me of the Holly Holm one that had against was it Christina Domke, I believe her name was.
Yeah.
Just brutal shot, and you know once you start those hammer fists and you're trapped in the corner like that, there's no escaping. Here we go, the fight. Vanes Martirosyan and Jermell Charlo. These guys have a similar style. It's kind of awkward. What do you think when you fight someone? When you fight someone with a similar style, it's kind of hard to get off, right?
Exactly, because you're punching at the same thing, you're blocking the same area. It was kind of an awkward fight. See, those overhands are catching each other.
Yeah. So Vanis Martiozyan, the guy that lost here. So Jermell Charlo moves on and is undefeated. Johnny Gonzalez, the champion here at featherweight against Gary Russell, who's staying tight with his punches. The lefty had a lot of success. There's a put down right there. I think a lot of us were surprised by how he dominated Johnny Gonzalez. What do you think of his speed and how tight his punches are?
I thought this was just in fast forward. Like, this is unbelievable. And they're so clean. They're so tight on the inside. Right there, you got a little wide, but.
And we go to Pensacola, Florida. Y'all must have forgot. Roy Jones Jr. in front of, get this, a little over 4,000 people in his hometown of Pensacola, just fighting. And you do not like this. Paul Vasquez gets defeated. It's unfortunate there's some random Chicano that he beat, but he's still fighting. It's 7 fights in a row. Is that surprising to you?
I don't know.
If he keeps winning, why not?
Because it's just time. It's just time.
Roy Jones, do your thing, man. You dominated the 90s, and we loved it. So
yeah,
as long as he keeps winning, I think.
Okay, all right.
So next, a guy that's still fighting, and a lot of us feel is still on the prime. Teammate of hers, Damasio Page, is coming up. He's going to talk about his upcoming fight, chances of going back to the UFC. So I'm pretty excited about that one.
Excited too. Big fight. Big fight coming up.
We'll catch you guys after the break with Damasio.